And Ron DeSantis as well has been on fire lately during a press conference, making a lot of great statements, just varying from different topics about the virus and whatnot. But the first one that he kind of made was basically a generalized message to Biden. Here's a clip of this here.
Why don't you do your job? Why don't you get this border secure? And until you do that, I don't want to hear a blip about COVID from you. Thank you.
So the big takeaway here is that Biden can't care about COVID while the border is open. Okay, those two things that are taking place, they're mutually exclusive. Like, you can't have both of these going on at the exact same time. And that's the problem that I have. So what you're seeing here is that they're basically letting in all of these immigrants because the Democrat platform has always been built on open borders, or very little in the way of stopping immigration or slowing it down or making sure these people actually become citizens at some point. So we have an open border. And as you can imagine, hey guys, where do you think this variant maybe came from? Where do you think, or how can you pretend to care about the virus when you're just willingly letting all of these people that very well could be COVID positive into the country? They were testing them for a little bit. I don't think they're testing anybody now. We haven't gotten any reports about it. And even if we did, they wouldn't report on it because they don't want you to know that they're literally sending COVID positive immigrants into Texas and California. Those are the states that are going to suffer the most because of this. And the thing is that if you try to do anything to actually prove or improve on this situation, they don't want to talk about it. They don't care. I don't think they care at all. No one's testing the immigrants. And the thing is that he also chimed in on school lockdowns and mask mandates.
If you're trying to deny kids a proper in-person education, I'm going to stand in your way, and I'm going to stand up for the kids in Florida. If you're trying to restrict people, impose mandates, if you're trying to ruin their jobs and their livelihoods and their small business, if you are trying to lock people down, I am standing in your way, and I'm standing for the people of Florida.
And of course, he's absolutely correct here. The thing is that we need governors to stand in the way. We do. We need strong politicians that actually have a backbone and are willing to say, you know what, enough is enough. You're done. This is where we draw the line. You had us fooled last year. Fool me once, shame on you, but fool me twice, shame on me. Because ultimately, you can't continue to get away with this. And make no mistake, the blue states are already ready to lock down, to implement mask mandates, to do all of the stuff, by the way, that didn't work last year. Lockdowns didn't work. We said they wouldn't work because all you're doing is delaying it. It does not do anything. So to lock down again is a waste of time. They looked at the masks data. There still isn't enough evidence to show that it specifically is enough to stop it entirely. At this point, if you're going to get the virus, you're going to get the virus. It's almost impossible not to get the virus. It's not if you get the virus, it's when you get the virus at some point. This is going to be like the flu. It's not any different than that. So to add in all of these extra things and try to close schools and try to force masks for younger children and things that aren't even having to deal with these issues as much, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Also, he went and ripped into vaccine passports.
Choice to be able to do it. Biden, he rejects science because he denies the fact that people that recover from COVID have long-lasting immunity. And that's been proven time and time again, and the data is very clear. So his vision is, just like in New York City, restaurants should ban young kids from being able to go in because they're not eligible for vaccination, and law-abiding citizens have to produce proof of their medical records just to go to the gym or attend an event or just to participate in everyday society. He wants that, but yet if you want to vote, he thinks it's too much of a burden to show a picture ID when you're voting. So no voter ID, but have to show your medical papers just to be able to live in everyday life? Give me a break. And so I think the question is we can either have a free society or we can have a biomedical security state. And I can tell you, Florida, we're a free state. People are going to be free to choose to make their own decisions about themselves, about their families, about their...
So first of all, vaccine passports are absolutely useless. When he was talking about the point about the voter ID being too much trouble, he put it nicely. The Democrats are literally saying that having to require a voter ID to vote is racist. That's what they're telling you. They're telling you that black people are too stupid to get an ID or any form of identification to bring it in to vote. That's what he's talking about. He put it nicely, but that's what they're saying. Okay? So how in the world is that racist? How is that something that's too above these rural black Americans? But a vaccine passport isn't. By that same logic, vaccine passports are racist, right? So maybe we should start throwing that in their face, right? To say, hey guys, vaccine passports are racist, you know? I mean, because it's using their exact same logic to basically try and push these things. You just can't make this stuff up, how the hypocrisy just continues to swell in here. But once again, it's all about the fact that they need to make sense out of this, that we need to make sense out of what's going on in our states, and we need to remain a free and open state and not kowtow to the CDC trying to legislate. Because if they're able to tell certain areas, hey, look, you cannot evict that person, then how far away are they from basically saying, hey, look, guys, we're going to start this new war over here. We're gonna legislate that and legislate this because we're the CDC, right? You know, what's going to stop them at that point? So at some point, we have to draw a line. And Ron DeSantis is, like I said, drawing a hard line. You just watched a clip from The William Hall Show. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.